Hi YouTube. My name is Amanda, aka Closet Soldier on YouTube. This is actually something that we've been trying to do for the longest, and we keep putting it off. But God has been dealing with us like insane lately, and we both have been having dreams and weird things been happening, and I just felt like God didn't want me to sit on this. And every time I go to Him in prayer, I feel like He just wants me to do more with it. And so for a while I had been praying like, Lord, give me dreams. Lord, give me dreams. Give me visions. Like, give me these things. And it's like, why? Why do I want them? Why do I want the Lord to show me these things if I'm not going to do anything with it? So Gene, he's my husband, and weird, and he loves like to say, like, I'm from the show me state, because he's from Missouri, and well, I guess you can explain better, like, just how, like, you have been wanting God to show you things, and I know I just started praying for it, because I was like, Lord, I want him to believe. I want him to know you. I want you to send him messages. I want you, like, and he didn't know I had been praying for him to have dreams and visions. So it took a couple weeks, and all of a sudden things started happening, and I was like, yes. But I guess you can kind of do your, a little bit of your backstory.
So, as she said, my name's Gene. I kind of grew up as a non-believer, so I always wanted to have proof, more firm, like evidence and something that was more tangible. But I always knew there was something more. When I started having the dreams, I could tell there was something different about them. The ones I could remember that stood out, something felt different about them than just a normal dream. This one in particular happened on September 18th, and I thought it felt different, but it seemed so stupid that I didn't think it was anything. So what happened in the dream was we were in a big conference, what seemed like a big conference. It was almost like a hotel conference room, and there was 3 rows of seating. Probably, our section was probably like 5 seats across. The middle was probably about 20. The other end was probably about 5. And they probably went back maybe 20, 30 rows. So it was a ton of people. And the facilitator, or the person who was speaking, was a giant spider. And I mean like a tarantula that was like the size of a bus. And I was being disruptive like the whole time, just like cracking jokes with Amanda and just being, obnoxious, not paying any attention. At one point, we were sitting on the row, the outside row, and to the side of me, it was almost like it was a hotel, and we were way up, probably, maybe on the 40th floor or something like that. Couldn't really tell. But next to us was a window, and between us, though, there was a gap, and it went down. It was almost like an abyss. It felt like you would fall forever. And because I was being so disruptive, 2 stormtroopers came over and tried to, and if you don't know what that is, maybe we'll put a picture up. So 2 stormtroopers came up, and they were very robotic and kind of mindless, and they were trying to push me over into the abyss, and I just kind of did like a little, I don't even know judo, but I just did like a little move and pushed them over, and I was like, that was the worst attempt to try to shut me up. And then I made jokes about that. What else?
But how did you feel about the spider? Like, How did you feel in the dream with the spider? Like, how did the spider make you feel? And how is everybody interacting with the spider?
I didn't feel scared of the spider. At one point, it tried to intimidate some people, like yelled at them, like, not a yell, but like an intimidating kind of scream, I guess you'd say, if it were that. But I didn't personally feel scared of the spider. I just thought it was really odd that we were learning about spiders from a spider. And at one point, like, I had called out what type of species it was, and you said something along the lines of, like, you weren't sure if I was right, and then the spider verified, and I was like, I think I know. I was like, clearly the spider knows what kind of spider it is. It was stupid. And that was basically it. I don't remember anything else from that dream, and that's why I thought it was so stupid. It was just weird, but it felt different than other dreams, so it was worth mentioning because of the feeling. But the subject matter was just really weird, and I had no idea what it meant.
No, and I remember when he came into the room, I was still laying in bed, and this is like before we were about to get ready to go to church, right? And he comes in and he's like, Amanda, I think that the enemy is trying to attack me in my sleep. He was like worried. And he started telling me the dream, and I was like, that doesn't sound like anything from God. Like, that sounds real stupid. So I totally disregarded it completely. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's probably nothing. Like, this your crazy imagination.
I even said when I told you, I was like, I feel like this is really stupid and it doesn't mean anything. You were like, it sounds really stupid.
I did. So then, all right, so that's over. Like, no one, like, even thinks twice about his dream. So then, Sunday night, we go to sleep. And the way my dreams work, like, I don't always feel like all of it is pertinent or important. But, like, I'll write it down just in case, or just to humor it, you know? Like, I feel like it's put in the dream for a reason. I might not know the interpretation, but I'll write it down just in case. So, I'll tell you my dream I had the next night. So, I'm like in this place, and these people are like rounding up. They're capturing us, like all these like young people. It's like 20, 30 somethings, and they're like rounding all of us up and putting us in this truck. So the truck was like so full that like people were climbing on top. They were holding on to they were climbing up the ladder, and different people were on the ladder at different points. And I just remember my sister being there, and she had this huge heavy backpack on, and I was like, you know, like, I'm stronger than you. Let me take the backpack, and you go into the truck, and I'll hold on to the back. And she was like, no, I got this. Like, you go on the inside. So I go on the inside, and we're like packed in there like sardines. And they take us to this camp. And as soon as we get there, I just feel like, and in my dreams, it's like I get different themes or different words. And this word I felt when I was at this place was slavery. So I don't remember doing any physical work, but I knew I was in a camp, and this theme, slavery, just pops up in my dream. So I just remember looking around, and there was all this like electrical fencing to where like if you tried to walk out, you would get electrocuted. and everybody just kind of knew to stay put, like in the area where we were supposed to be at. So I don't know how long we were there. I know my sister was there. I know my cousin was there. And then there was all these other random people I didn't know. And all of a sudden, Gene finds out where I'm at. And he goes and he pays like a bail, like a price to get me out. And then while he's there, he gets like a handful of other people. And they were random people. I didn't know who they were. But he didn't come and get like my sister and my cousin, which I thought was weird in the dream. I was like, we're just going to leave them. Like, I just remember thinking that. Like, why didn't he get the family? Like, why is he getting these random people? So, it was weird because I didn't think anything about this whole first part of this dream. So I just remember when I was writing about my husband coming to bail me out and rescue me, the Holy Spirit just put it on my heart. Your husband is Jesus in the dream.
Not actually me.
You're so stupid. Okay. So when I looked at that, it totally changed that part of the dream. Like, I was held captive. Jesus came and rescued me. He only took a handful of people out of this place. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to interpret my dream. That's not what I do. But I just thought it was very interesting. So anyways, as soon as we get bailed out, all of a sudden, it changes to a different setting. And Gene is with me in a classroom, and he's like sitting like a couple seats across the room, and I'm sitting over here, and he's kind of like posted up, like laying back. And the instructor is teaching something, and all of a sudden he goes, "The spider is the devil," or he said like, "The spider represents the devil." And I just looked over at him like, and he perks up like, you know, it's interesting you say that because I just had a dream about a gigantic spider last night. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And then my alarm clock went off.
Which is exactly how I would probably say that in real life too.
So then my alarm clock goes off right after that exchange. The spider is the devil. It's funny you say that. He acknowledges that we both acknowledged that there was a dream the night before that was crazy, that we didn't understand. And this man that was teaching this class just says, the spider is the devil. And I was like shocked.
And we thought it was odd they were both like classroom setting type dreams. Or that
Yeah.
they were, like learning something settings, which is odd.
So as soon as I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, his dream really meant something. Like, I
Still don't know what it means.
We still don't know what it means, but the fact that I didn't even want to acknowledge his dream as being anything. But this teacher in this dream, after I was having my dream, brought up his dream. I was like, what's going on? Okay, so then right after I was done writing this down that night, I go on YouTube, and the very first video I click on, this lady is talking about camps, and how people are going to be made to go back into slavery. Like this theme was like we were going to be put back into slavery, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. The very first video that I clicked on, and I've never heard of anyone talking about slavery. I've heard people mention like camps and things like that, but never had I heard anyone talk about slavery. And it was so clear in my dream. It was almost like the word slavery was there, but it wasn't. But I just remember the theme was slavery. But yeah, so that was that one. So, I mean, I guess we would like to know if anyone does have the gift of interpretation, or might have any insight onto what our dreams mean. Please just comment below. We've been praying about it, and I've been asking the Lord, and haven't really gotten any closer to any more clarity than we already don't have. Really. But they're very interesting, and it seems like a lot of our dreams are kind of interconnected. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, because, like
Why
I
do you
said,
get to say it?
because it's my channel.
Fine.
So, stay tuned, because we have way more dreams than just this. And I'm sure the Lord is going to keep dealing with us and keep showing us things. And